to the deep dive. Today, we are taking a look at something pretty persistent. A strange shadow, you could say, lurking beneath the bright lights of music history. We're talking about those rumors, the ones linking celebrity power, fame, fate, and these whispers of ritual, specifically thinking about figures like, well, Diddy and Rihanna.
Yeah, and it's not just like idle gossip, is it? It's almost this sophisticated mythology that's built up over, decades now.
Right.
So our mission today really is to trace these rumors, these pretty enduring rumors, back to their roots maybe, and ask, how did, clever marketing somehow mutate into this really powerful digital belief system? Exactly.
We're pulling apart this whole web, looking at the icons, sure, but also the people maybe working behind the scenes, folks who helped engineer the mystique, like the publicist Jonathan Hay and his former partner, Lauren.
Because the truth might be stranger, actually. The industry's obsession with power. It might be weirder than the supernatural myths themselves.
Okay, let's unpack this. And I guess we have to start with Sean Diddy Combs.
Yeah, you really do. He's kind of the original lightning rod for all this occult speculation, especially in modern hip-hop culture.
Think about his whole trajectory, right? His brand. It was never just about expensive clothes or fancy cars. It felt like it was about command control.
Right, from the Bad Boy era, yeah.
Yeah.
The visual language was just loaded. That logo.
Yeah, the logo. Always felt like it was nodding towards that all-seeing eye thing, didn't it?
Totally. And the constant use of candlelit imagery, videos, photo shoots, it felt very calculated.
It did.
And what's fascinating, I think, is how Diddy's entire identity became tied to that control, almost like a spiritual goal,
He didn't just sell music. He sold ascension. Is that the right word?
I think so. His frequent reinventions, Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, now just Diddy, they read less like branding updates,
right,
and more like these ritualistic sheddings of skin, like he was climbing some unseen ladder of influence or power.
And the sources we looked at, they really nailed this key point. The mystery, it never needed actual proof. It just needed repetition.
Exactly. In pop culture, and boy, especially in the digital age, repetition basically becomes belief. It just does. If you repeat a vague spiritual reference or use the language of like manifestation and higher power often enough, well, it's instantly reinterpreted by millions as some kind of veiled admission, like, oh, he's in a secret society. His power then seems self-generated because nobody can pin it down.
It's actually genius marketing when you think about it. Keep the whispers going, and you maintain this level of mystique that, frankly, other commercially successful artists just can't touch. His secrecy is maybe his greatest asset.
And okay, so while Diddy's mystique was built, sustained over decades, the mythology around Rihanna, that felt like it was created almost overnight.
Right. Good transition point.
Yeah, that's kind of our key shift here.
Okay, so we jump from the architect of sustained mystery to the icon who became like the immediate focus of a digital witch hunt, all starting with Umbrella.
Oh, that video. It became the Rosetta Stone, basically, for online conspiracy theories, didn't it?
Totally. People went frame by frame, dissecting the silver paint on her body.
The fire, the water.
The triangle poses, yeah. Even just the lyric, "Under my umbrella."
That was supposedly the sign, the initiation into some dark, coded system.
And the timing is important here, I think. She was relatively new, right? Then, bam. Suddenly, she's this commanding global presence, partnered with Jay-Z, who, let's be honest, carries his own symbolic weight in these circles.
Absolutely. The shift felt so sudden, so powerful, that people seem to feel this need to explain it with something extraordinary, something, other.
Which brings us to that difficult point, the gendered trope.
Yeah, we have to talk about that. Why does the witchcraft accusation cling so stubbornly to women, especially powerful women in music?
It's historical, isn't it? Female autonomy, female power. It's often been framed as threatening, as sorcery.
Exactly. So Rihanna's confidence, her absolute control over her image, her rebellion against the expectation that she should just stay the sweet girl from Barbados.
Right.
To the conspiracy theorists online, empowerment just equaled enchantment. It had to be something supernatural.
What they were really afraid of, maybe, wasn't hexes at all. It was a woman completely unafraid to command her own story, her own destiny.
And Rihanna, she's smart. She understood how to kind of use that fear, maybe even play with it. She wasn't just a victim of the myth. She arguably became a master of it.
Yeah, instead of trying to shut down all the speculation, she almost seemed to amplify it sometimes.
Totally. Her later visuals, especially around the anti-era, they played directly into those tropes.
Right.
Red moons, snakes.
Inverted thrones, black veils.
Yeah. Now, academically, you could see this as her reclaiming the archetype of the dark feminine, right? Woman embracing her full power, shadows and all.
Sure, a critical reading.
But when those images hit the internet,
Yeah.
forget it. That nuanced reading just vanished. The public saw hexes. They didn't see metaphors.
By that point, the whole myth-making machine was kind of self-aware, maybe even self-perpetuating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if the icons are the subjects here, we need to look at the engineers behind the curtain.
Right.
Let's bring in Jonathan Hay, the publicist, and his story.
Hay's a really pivotal figure. He was involved in leaking Rihanna's debut single, Pon de Replay, way back in 2005. So he was there right at the start of that meteoric rise.
And years later, he talked about that time, didn't he? Described it as, what was it?
Spiritually chaotic. That was his phrase. That initial rush of buzz, fame creation, spiritually chaotic.
Chaos seems like a good word for it. And when he later confessed to using these methods deliberately, what exactly did he say he did?
Well, he publicly detailed this system. He called it mystery marketing, sometimes controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. Okay.
And he admitted pretty openly to planting and nurturing rumors, specifically rumors with those occult undertones, to make artists seem, quote, dangerously intriguing.
Dangerously intriguing. So the goal wasn't just headlines.
No, it was deeper. It was about manipulating attention by actually engineering belief, or at least strong suspicion.
Wow. That's a crucial difference, isn't it? It wasn't organic folklore just bubbling up. It was manufactured.
Precisely. And Hayes seemed to realize that the suggestion was way more powerful than any confirmation could ever be.
How so?
Well, if you just hint at a dark secret, the audience does the heavy lifting for you, right?
Yep.
They fill in the blanks with their own fears, their own fantasies.
Makes sense.
In this tactic, it was apparently so successful that Hay eventually expressed pretty deep regret about it.
I can imagine why. The occult stuff he cooked up just for buzz,
Yeah.
it became literal belief systems for millions of people. He sort of created this atmosphere in the industry where the myth just grew legs and ran off way beyond his control.
You can almost feel the psychological weight of that, can't you? That unintended consequence.
Yes, and that burden, that kind of weight, that's exactly what comes through when we look at the experience of Lauren, Hayes' former partner.
She gives us this really critical, ground-level view on the emotional cost of living and working inside this world of manufactured secrecy.
What did she describe?
She said music publicity started feeling less like a job and more like entering some kind of secret current. She heard producers, managers talking constantly about energy transfers.
Energy transfers.
Yeah, and karmic exchanges, sacrifices made for success, things like that.
Wow, like literal sacrifices.
Well, she made it clear she didn't think they were, practicing literal Satanism or anything.
Okay.
But the way people treated fame, she said it felt like a kind of spiritual religion with its own intense, really strange commandments. It stopped being about the music itself almost.
And became about what?
The power the music represented, the influence, the control.
Okay, and this brings up the idea she mentioned, spiritual gravity. What did she mean by that? When she said the atmosphere felt heavy, was that just burnout or something?
More. I think it was more than just burnout. It sounds like the psychological pressure of just intense collective focused attention all the time.
Right.
Lauren confessed that even though she didn't believe in literal spells or anything, the overwhelming focus, the demands, the secrecy, the constant creation of myth, it created its own kind of, spiritual gravity, as she put it.
So the atmosphere itself felt charged, heavy.
Yeah, heavy with exhaustion, paranoia, maybe, and the constant fear of exposure, of the whole thing collapsing.
So the myth-making process kind of consumed its creators in a way.
Seems like it.
It sounds less like a traditional PR strategy and more like, applied philosophy. Or maybe applied psychology geared for mass manipulation.
Absolutely. And if you look for the one common thread, the one unifying concept across all these accounts, from Diddy's talk about frequency to Lauren's feeling of exhaustion, it's that one really nebulous word.
Which is?
Energy.
Yeah.
Everyone uses it. Nobody really defines it.
That's true. Producers, stylists, publicists, they all talk about vibes, frequency, manifestation.
Like priests describing prayer, almost.
Yeah. Diddy himself once famously said success has a frequency.
And this is where the old idea of magic maybe meets modern marketing, right? The core idea is basically that focused will, a really strong intention, can somehow bend reality.
Okay.
And whether you want to call that marketing or mysticism,
Yeah.
that focused will, that intention to command attention and influence, that's pretty much the functional modern definition of witchcraft, isn't it?
Huh. Never thought of it quite like that. So if focus will is the energy, then the ancient symbols are the tools. Because we see art directors using pentagrams, serpents, the eye motif constantly. It's part of the visual language of power now.
They know those symbols carry weight. They have history. The executives, the creative teams, they learned a long time ago that the occult sells precisely because it unsettles people.
Right. Controversy converts curiosity into clicks, into profit.
Exactly. And these aesthetics, this mystery, it gives the artist control over their narrative, but it also gives the audience something to decode, a secret they think they've cracked.
So the line between high fashion, spiritual jargon, and just plain old fear has gotten really, really blurry.
Completely blurred. And the internet. Well, the internet just turned this specialized engineered folklore into fast food.
How do you mean?
Like a strange pose in a photo, a cryptic emoji, and artist posts. Boom. Instantly starts a witch hunt on TikTok or Twitter.
Yeah, you see it all the time.
And it lets millions of fans play detective, right?
Yeah.
Interpreting every single frame like it's scripture. Online speculation doesn't really seek definitive truth.
What does it seek then?
The thrill of participation, maybe. The high of feeling like you're an insider, like you're in on the secret, the comment section, the fan forum. That's the new altar. That's where this ritual gets performed, like, hourly.
Which brings us back, full circle, doesn't it? Back to Diddy's paradox. His entire career, built on massive success, but always cloaked in this layer of secrecy. His mystique is somehow self-sustaining. It's powered by the whispers, by memory.
And the really profound insight there, I think, is that in an age where everything about celebrity culture eventually gets exposed, the weddings, the breakups, the finances, everything,
Yeah.
Diddy's most powerful act
Yeah.
might be what he consistently keeps hidden. The absence of verifiable evidence actually strengthens the core belief in his hidden power. It doesn't weaken it.
What a story. Just a saga of image, imagination, influence. This whole deep dive, it just reveals how these stories take on lives of their own, doesn't it?
It really does.
The modern music industry. It's not just selling sound anymore. It's selling archetypes. It's selling focused energy. It's embodying this potent idea that creation itself is maybe a kind of ritual.
Yeah, from Diddy's, strategic mystique to Rihanna's very conscious mastery of the myth she was handed.
Right.
And then the publicist admitting, hey, these are cold hints. That was just marketing that went viral, went rogue. We've seen the whole mechanism, really, the creation of modern legends.
So what does this all mean for you, the person listening right now, the person consuming this culture every day?
Maybe consider this.
Okay.
Maybe the real spell isn't some kind of darkness after all. Maybe it's just the overwhelming human fascination with the idea of darkness, the fascination with secrets.
So, in chasing the idea of hidden power, we reveal what we actually worship.
Perhaps what we worship in our modern age, mystery, attention, and maybe the fantasy of absolute control.
So the next time you watch a music video or you find yourself diving down some rabbit hole, some wild celebrity theory online, ask yourself, how does your own urge to decode, to interpret that imagery, how does that participate in this modern ritual?
You're part of the story too.
Keep digging, keep listening, and we'll see you on the next Deep Dive.